One really big misconception that I'm struggling with every freaking day is foreshadowing is really bad, especially when you talk about content. Because, like, think about it from my perspective, okay? I'm working on things right now that I don't tell you about. But the things I work on that I don't tell you about are the things I'm most excited about. I'm so excited about them that I can almost not help myself telling you. But if I told you now, there's no surprise factor at all. Let's say I'm starting a big quiz show on YouTube, right? It's been 8 months in the making, and 2 weeks before, or like 4 months before, I go, yo, in 2 months, we're gonna make a big quiz show. Get excited for it. I don't care. Go away. Right? But if I tell you, we're working on something we're really excited about, don't worry. When the time is right, we'll tell you. And then out of nowhere, boom, it happens. You're like, what? I did not expect that. That is insane. That is crazy. What is better? What is better? Think for yourselves. I think the problem, like, very often people overhype stuff. So if you go out and you're like, I'm gonna do this thing, if you're only a hair off of what you've said you're gonna do, you're gonna get shit for it. It's really difficult. It's really, really difficult. And because you're so excited about it, right? Because you're like, dude, I have this really great idea. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be so nice. Try not to tell everybody. I know it's very difficult, but if you somehow can, try not to tell everybody, because if you manage to keep it for yourself and you just do it, people will find out anyways. There's no reason for you to tell anyone before, because that puts you under so much pressure as well. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna make that podcast, everyone's gonna be like, okay, where's the podcast? And then if you go, hey, I actually didn't want to make the podcast because I didn't think it was that great, now you're now in a position where people expect the podcast from you, and it better be good. And if you just didn't say anything, you wouldn't have any stress because no one actually knew you were doing a podcast in the first place. And if it doesn't turn out well, whatever. And it's not always like that, okay? It's not always like that. There's different case scenarios where it might be good to be like, hey, big announcement in 2 weeks, whatever. In a year, this is going to be our goal. There's exceptions to this 100%. But I think the base rule is when you're very excited about shit, other people are usually not. You need to show them something. You need to already have it out or stuff like that. Then you can get people excited for it as well. And even then, people are usually very difficult to get excited for stuff.